So before I say anything else, Pats fans, calm down. Trust me. Hear me out, okay? Breathe. I'm going to be a lot more favorable to you than you might think. Just trust me, okay? Okay. So in pro wrestling, there's a all-time great named Eddie Guerrero, and he had the motto of lie, cheat, and steal. It means exactly that. Dude was lying, dude was cheating, dude was stealing, all in the name of winning matches. Kind of like the Patriots. Am I right, boys? Am I right? Seriously though, throughout the Patriots dynasty, they were always called cheaters. Sometimes it was justified, and today I'll be looking into each of the Patriots' biggest cheating scandals and instances where they either bent the rules or just got stupidly lucky.
It was one of the biggest stories in sports. The New England Patriots caught videotaping a rival team's coaches.
The alleged cheating scandal launching 1,000 saucy headlines. Deflategate. Did they deflate footballs during their championship game to gain a strategic advantage? With their coach coming under fire again?
The tuck rule is defined in the book as when an offensive player is holding the ball to pass it forward, any intentional forward movement of his arm starts a forward pass, even if the player loses possession of the ball and is attempting to tuck it back towards his body. Also, if the player has tucked the ball into his body and then loses possession, it's a fumble. I'm sure almost any NFL fan knows about this game. For some prior context, this was before the dynasty, before any of the Super Bowls. Actually, in a 30 for 30 about the tuck rule game, Patriots owner Robert Kraft would say the Super Bowl happened because it wasn't a fumble.
The Super Bowls all happened because it wasn't a fumble.
So, looking into the actual game now, we have the Patriots versus the Raiders. Our two key pieces are Tommy Brady and Charles Woodson. The year, 2001, it's a divisional round. It's snowy as fuck, so I really don't need to go through this entire game like we did for Super Bowl 50 in the last video. Let's just jump right to the juicy part, alright? The score was 13-3 with under 10 minutes left. Then with under 8 left on the clock, the Pats would bring it into one possession. Then they get the ball back with 2:06. With 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock, history would be made for every wrong reason.
That fast. First down from the 42. Blitz. Lost the football. It's on the ground. Covered by the Raiders. His college teammate, Charles Woodson, on the blitz.
As you saw, initially the play would be called a fumble, then it would go under further review, where they then would announce it was overturned and the ball would stay with the Patriots, as it would be ruled an incompletion. So from what I'm to understand here, of why it was called how it was, they saw Brady's arm coming forward, and the refs never saw Brady tuck the ball back in. Also kind of implying that Woodson's hit on Tom Brady's arm didn't lead to the ball coming out, saying that it just slipped out. Obviously, this is a horrible call, considering that it takes a couple leaps in logic to get to a point where you can see what they saw. So the Pats would end up tying the game, and then take it in overtime, and they'd win it. Then would eventually go on to win the Super Bowl that year against the Rams. And in the current day, it seems Brady kind of knows it was complete bullshit. Seen in the same 30 for 30, where he and Woodson are jokingly arguing over whether or not it was the right call.
Doesn't take much pressure to knock it out at that point. Go ahead. Fumble. Or, in this case, tuck rule.
Bro, that ref that made the call still stands by his conviction.
It's an incomplete pass when it happened, and it's an incomplete pass 20 years later.
Now, obviously, the Pats didn't cheat or lie or even steal in this case, but it was that pure luck I was talking about. But now it's time to transition into a thing where they did actually all three. Bro, this shit goes deeper than I actually remembered it going from when I was like a little kid. So in 2007, the thing that cracked this vault wide open was video assistant Matt Estrella getting caught videotaping hand signals from the Jets' defensive assistants. The Pats would admit they were doing it a little after the story broke, and Roger Goodell would make his decision that I honestly kind of love and respect. He wanted those tapes gone, and by gone, he meant smashed. By smashed, I mean turned into like shattered plastic. The Pats' defense for doing this was that they misunderstood the rules. They'd fine Bill Belichick $500,000 and the Patriots $250,000. They'd also forfeit their first round pick in 2008, but apparently this isn't the only time they've done this, just the first time they got caught. After the Jets incident, hell would open up and former Patriots staff members would speak about what the Pats had been doing. According to some, the Patriots would send their staff to games of opponents that the Patriots would play soon, and then record the things that they were asked to record. They'd use the guise of being with Kraft Productions or Patriots TV. So some of the former Patriots employees would say they've been doing this as early as 2000. They'd also be accused of taping the Rams walkthrough in that Super Bowl game that they won the year of the tuck rule. They'd hand out the punishments I said earlier, and they'd also confiscate the camera Estrella used in the Jets incident. So after all the chaos and punishments, what would you do if you were the Patriots? Let's make it a game, actually. A, would you behave and become an upstanding organization? B, deny you ever did anything though you admitted to it? C, do it again years later? Or D, fire Belichick? The answer is C. Yeah, because of course it is. In 2019, they'd send videographers to a game between the Bengals and Browns. For context, the Pats played the Bengals the week after. They told whoever asked that they were filming for a series they run on their website. Security for the Bengals would catch the Patriots guys recording something that he shouldn't have. While one asked the Patriots videographer what he was doing, the other recorded the footage with his phone. That phone recording would be released and shown that they were literally just recording the Bengals sideline. Their excuse for this was, well, again, they misinterpreted the rules. They'd only lose a third-round pick for this one and be mocked by NFL fans for trying to cheat against the team that would eventually get the first overall pick. The Spygate scandals were wild and probably one of the most crazy things to happen in NFL history. And there's zero way that the Patriots could ever do something equally as shocking ever again, right? Well, fuck. They just keep doing this stuff over and over and over again. This time, the Pats would be accused of purposely deflating footballs in the AFC Championship game against the Colts. This would start when Colts linebacker DeQuell Jackson intercepted the ball, and he said it felt lighter than it usually does. I mean, it really didn't matter, to be honest, because the game was an absolute slaughter. Pats ended up winning by 38 points, so it wasn't like it was a close game or anything. They still allegedly underinflated 11 or 12 of the balls they supplied for the game. The Brady called the accusations of it ridiculous, and Belichick said he knew nothing about anything. It really didn't matter if the Patriots deflated the balls or not. Because of Spygate, people were instantly skeptical and already ready to label the Patriots cheaters even with no evidence. No one ever really gave the Patriots the benefit of the doubt, and to my knowledge, they never confirmed nor denied the validity of Deflategate. The punishments they handed out were suspending Brady for 4 games the next season, stripped them of their 2016 first-round pick, $1 million, and a 2017 fourth-round pick. There is more evidence, at least from my research, that leans towards the Patriots being innocent. So the whole 11 of 12 number that was given was not accurate. In the initial report given to the NFL, it would say that whole 11 of the 12 were tampered with or underinflated. That would inevitably be incorrect, and a correction would be made. It was unclear if the guy who submitted the report did it intentionally or not, but I don't think that's something we'll ever know the real answer to. The thing is, whether the Patriots are innocent or guilty of Deflategate doesn't really matter, because it'll always be something that will follow them till the end of time. And just FYI, if you're curious, they ended up winning the Super Bowl this year. Just a little fun fact. So for this last part, I'm just going to tack it on at the end because I really don't know where else to put it. It's just going to run through stuff where either like Bill Belichick understood the rules more than every other coach, or small little things that don't really deserve their own section. The first thing is when in a 2014 playoff game against the Ravens, they did this sneaky ass formation where they put an eligible receiver on the line and an ineligible receiver in the slot, and confused the Ravens because the Ravens thought it wasn't a legal thing to do. Then another one was during a game against the Steelers where the Steelers headsets would stop working, but that would eventually be chalked up as a glitch and no one would file any report. This one I saw online like 40 or 50 times maybe. Remember that time where Brady asked the ref to add a few seconds to the play clock, and they did? Yeah, it was because the refs were wrong from the start of that play, basically just not resetting it at the right point and whatever. So they added the time back. That's, for the most part, that's really all the small ones I want to cover. That's really all the smaller ones, other than Belichick toying with the play clock and penalties to shave a whole minute off, which wasn't illegal, just kind of scummy. But damn, was it super smart. If you want to call the Patriots cheaters, that's fair, I guess. But you also can't deny the success that they had even when they weren't cheating or bending rules. The Pats dynasty will always go down as one of the greatest in sports history, but it will always have that asterisk next to it in every situation. They never really needed to cheat, but because they did, generations of NFL fans will never forget Spygate, Deflategate, and even some of the other little stuff. By the way, really apologize for this one, Pats fans, but I've been Dom. Make sure you spy on the sub button and that like button. And real quick before I go, I want to say genuinely thank you for the overwhelming support on the last video. I did not expect it to get that much attention. I just kind of make videos for the fuck of it, have a good time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching again. I've been Dom. Bye.
That's it. That sets the stage for Norwood.